Okay, I am live and you should be able to hear me. Let me check my audio levels. Whew, I am so excited. Let's see. Where are my audio levels? Oh, they're, let's see. It's so hard to keep track of all the windows when I'm streaming. There they are. Okay, let's mute that. And of course, let's have our background music. There we go. There we go. Oops. Let me put this back in the right place and lock it. Lock, there we go. Okay, and then let me just make a quick announcement to my Discord crew, letting them know I'm online. This is a bit of a subscribe, a little bit of a I can't remember how to say this. A surprise stream today. I was not intending actually to stream, but I just noticed an uptick in questions on Linux. So I want to talk a little bit about that. And I've never used it, actually. So I want to try it. Hi, Albert. Good to see you as always. Let's see. I want to get here. Eric, not on your links, anything. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate the comment. I'm always happy to see that someone actually has some benefit from the content I create. It's been a big year for tablets. It has been a big year for tablets. So I'm glad I sort of started streaming and doing more content at this time. Okay, just give me a second. I'm going to get... let me tell the Discord crew that I'm here. Do a little cleanup. Oh, thank you, Eric. I appreciate that you like the vibes and the music. That's actually very important to me. I try to make this a fun, chill place to be. Okay, where are my YouTube? Okay. Oh, you're gonna reboot into Linux? Fantastic. That'll be good because I will need the help. Let me make sure you understand. I am not an expert in this topic. Content. I keep saying I need to find a way to automate this announcement to Discord. And I've tried so many times, I can never find what I need. Let's see. At 7p. Live and on camera now. One day I'll give you all a tour of my streaming setup again. It evolves. It's gotten better and it's changed over the past 2 years. Well, I should say the past year. I have only been streaming since about November of last year. Would you believe I've done 80 streams in 1 year? That stuns me. That's absolutely blows my mind away. I thought if I look back, I thought I'd have like 30, but it was actually 80 streams. Okay, Discord knows about it. Now let me do a little bit of cleanup on my end. I try to just clean up browser history and that kind of thing. So that, well, first of all, nothing embarrassing is being shown. And second of all, that there's nothing distracting. Is Medibang on Linux? I don't know. I just don't know. We can investigate that. Almost there. Almost. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay. So, what is the story today? Today is Linux. So, a little bit of background. I used to be a pretty heavy Linux user, and this was in the early 90s. And I quit using Linux. I would say I quit using Linux by about 1996, 1997. That's when I joined Microsoft. And it's not like I wanted to. There just was no point. I was just really working all the time on Windows, as you can imagine. So my knowledge of Linux is dated, and I think even a lot of the basics is something that I've forgotten, to be quite honest. Okay? So I don't find myself uncomfortable with the idea of using Linux. I just haven't used it in literally decades. Every couple of years I do install a distro. It's almost always Linux Mint. And I play with it for a couple of weeks and discover that there's nothing really there for me. So this is the first time, I think, in probably 4 years that I've installed Linux Mint, which is the distro I'm going to use today. And what prompted this video is that I've mentioned several times people are they're shopping now. I know that from the statistics on my document site. People look for tablets to buy in October and November. And of course, December is just wild. So I'm seeing just a slight uptick in questions about Linux, okay? And I've mentioned in other streams that, maybe Windows is getting a little bit boring. I mean, I'm, accepting all this AI stuff. And I'm looking forward to having an OS that is obviously free, but also one that just enables more people to do whatever creative thing they want to do. So I'm interested in the open source story. I'm a user of Krita. I don't think I'm a heavy user, because I usually I do testing with it. Occasionally Inkscape. And so I do believe in the open source vision, of course. But I've never really committed to really using it. So today will be at least an attempt to answer the questions I get on, in Reddit, etc., which is, can you use a tablet on Linux? Now we're going to focus on Wacom, because we'll talk about why in a second, and we'll explore what we'll know about Wacom. And the perspective I'm going to take in this video is trying to use the Wacom tablet as a normal user, okay? And by normal user, I don't mean just plug it in and see that the pointer moves. There's all sorts of little features we need to see work, and we need to know how to do. So for example, how do you do force proportions? Because I'm used to using the Wacom driver, and you'll see there's a different story in how it works on Linux. And I'm used to using all these features in the Wacom driver, like force proportions, and display toggle, and pressure curve. So I have no idea how to do any of those things on an actual Linux system, or how you'd go about doing it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to figure out how to actually normally use the tablet on Linux, and hopefully it'll be easy. I've heard that it's plug and play, but I don't know about all these other features I just mentioned. So we have to figure that out, because it's not enough that, you plug in a tablet and it works. All these other features need to be available somehow, because that's the reality of using tablets. Okay, and the other thing is we're going to stick to Wacom this time, and that's just to have a focus, because I think it could get a little complicated if we tried every brand. But we will explore some general themes for sure. Okay. Now I do have an Ubuntu box set up in front of me before we get to the actual demo and trying things out. And again, this is a trying out stream. It's not like I have a pre-prepared presentation for you. We're going to explore. That's in fact the title of the stream, Exploring Wacom on Linux. So we're going to explore, and we're going to just see what it feels like. Okay. Now, Let's start with a resource. Let's start with a resource. And I am going to, what am I going to do here? Give me a second. I'm going to put yeah, you can see my MacBook. Okay. So let's just figure out what we can figure out. And I did take a few notes that I want to share on my document site. Okay, let's just get there. We'll just go through it. So, this is a doc I wrote that's called Linux Using Drawing Tablets on Linux. It's on my site. I'm going to put in the link to it just in case people want to share any comments on it. I'm not pretending that it's especially... Oops, I should move this thing out of the way. I'm not pretending that it's especially deep. I am just saying that this is where I wrote things down. So let's just get to, I think, the thing that most people would want to know, which is like, which tablet brand would I recommend for Linux? Now, as little as I know, here's what I would say. If I had to pick a tablet brand, just a brand, you should probably go with Wacom if you want to use Linux. And the reason is, I know that Wacom has had the longest support in Linux. And by support, what I mean is, it looks like Wacom tablet support is baked into Linux. Or I should, maybe more accurately, it might be that there are libraries that ship with most distros that have Linux support. And we'll investigate that a little bit, okay? Now in this doc, it talks about Wacom support for Linux, and it says exactly what I said. And then there's a link to which devices are supported, okay? Now I don't know how up to date this list is, but we will see. Now, let's take a look at the other brands. Sense Labs, since I did talk to them a couple of times, they make a big deal about supporting Linux. So they do ship Linux drivers. Seems like that is something they're very deliberate about, okay? Dermon, no, you can't, your phone is a limitation. Now, XP Pen and Huion actually have drivers. So I just want to show you the drivers that what we see, okay? Because I just, so that you have a visual memory of what I'm saying, okay? So we're going to show you this. Oops, I clicked too many times. Where it should be under support. This is for Sense Labs. Okay, so firmware, product, setup, driver. I just want drivers, my dudes. Where are the drivers? I'm going to type in Sense Labs drivers. There we go. So they actually have, this is Sense Labs. They have Mac OS, Windows, Windows ARM, and Linux. So they have 4 different drivers depending which OS you want. And probably the most unusual thing here is actually not Linux. It's that Windows and Windows ARM are 2 separate installs. So that's interesting. Now their drivers look like they're updated on different, they're sort of on different dates that they've published. The Mac OS one is posted on August 2025, Windows on June 2025, Windows ARM on September 24. So it has been updated in a little while. And the Linux driver hasn't been updated since June of 2024. And that isn't to say there's anything wrong. I want you to be sure that's not what I'm saying. But because they don't release many tablets, and we're not expecting a lot of firmware updates. Oh, sorry, yeah, tablet driver updates. But you should just be aware, okay? Okay, let's just take a look at Huion drivers. And let's see if they have Linux drivers listed in an obvious place. Let's pick a random, I don't want the Huion Note. I'll pick their latest tablet, okay? Let's click on download. So they have a Windows driver, Mac OS driver, and Linux driver. Now notice here, the drivers are all shipped in October of 2025, okay? So it looks like they are actively shipping drivers. And I believe Linux people in chat, if it says, if it's a deb file, Ubuntu, the Mint is built off Ubuntu, right? So this means this should work for me. But I'm not going to do it this stream. We want to stick to Wacom right now. Let's take a look at some comments. Dermon says, you can install through Wine. Oh, that's for responding to somebody else. Simon. Okay, we have a comment from Simon. Give me a second. Let me move a few things out of the way. It's, I got so many windows to deal with here. Sometimes it gets a little confusing. Okay, I'm going to move this over here. And then move this over here. Oh, my hand hurts. Let's see. Simon said, I'm looking for all those looking to buy 2-in-1 laptop. Wacom AES drivers are also included with Linux. At least the Wacom AES pen of my Lenovo laptop. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you, Simon. That's good to know. Dermon says, deb files, yes, for Ubuntu and Debian-based system. Okay, perfect. The deb file should work on anything Debian-based. Okay. Hey, so actually, people clarify this for me, because I forget how this works in Linux. I'm going to get the terminology wrong, but you tell me, okay? There's the Linux kernel, and people make distros using that. One of the distros is Debian, and then Ubuntu is like Debian plus things, and then Linux Mint is Ubuntu plus more things. Is that how to think about the chain of understanding here? Because I have totally forgotten. Okay, so let's just take a look at XP Pen, just to see what they do as well. Okay, Linux drivers. Dermon says pretty much. Okay. So Debian is the key. Debian's the lowest point on the stack for that driver. Okay, where are the drivers? Driver download. Let's just go ahead and pick Ultra Series. Mac, XP Pen. I don't see a Windows driver. I don't see a Linux driver. Let's go back here and figure out what the heck just happened. Here's a support FAQ. It's less clear. Let's take a look with the CEO of YouTube. CEO. Mir says, without the glasses, I'd look quite similar to the CEO of YouTube. Okay. Come on, man. My face isn't like that. Though I wish I had hair. I'll tell you that. I'm going to claim he looks older than me. I'm going to claim he looks... And he's probably younger than me. No, he's actually... Yeah, he is 2 years younger than me. But I'm going to claim I actually look younger than this guy. Despite being bald. Let's see. Mint is Ubuntu minus some stuff. Okay, so it's not exactly they're adding all in. Okay, I get it. It's like anyone can curate their distro of choice as they want. The reason I picked Mint is I heard it was the easiest for beginners. And so I'm treating myself like a beginner, right? Like technically I have experience with Linux, but because I've forgotten stuff and it's been a while, I'm considering myself a beginner. Dermon says, oh no, you look nothing like him. Dermon agrees. Apparently decide... Oh, Albert, you deleted your Linux. Okay, so... And then now let's go Wacom, okay? Let's just type in Wacom Linux. What are you going to see if you type this phrase in? And what you're going to see is they have an they have this little support article. And they say, our Wacom devices support on Linux. And so we should read this because this helps explain things for us, okay? Wacom, this is updated a year ago. Wacom developers have been contributing to kernel drivers since 2002. So for 23 years, there's been Wacom support in Linux, like in Linux. And if I take this statement literally in the kernel drivers, okay. Today, all Wacom hardware features are supported by Linux. We will test that idea, that claim. Some software applications may not have implemented full support. Don't know exactly how to parse that. We'll figure that out. For more information, which is the guide here, we'll take a look at the guide. And then for a complete list of devices supported on Linux, let's see this list. Okay, let's take a look at the list. This page lists all Wacom devices. Hang on a second. The Linux column contains the minimum kernel version that natively supports the tablet. The input Wacom column indicates the minimum kernel version that The input Wacom column indicates the minimum kernel version that the tablet can be made to work with if you install the input Wacom driver. That is a very oddly constructed sentence in English. I will tell you that. Simpler ways of phrasing that. The lib Wacom column indicates the minimum version of the lib Wacom library that must be installed. Okay, so what's not totally clear to me right now is the difference between input Wacom and lib Wacom. Unclear. It's unclear a couple of things. Do we have to install those? Are they automatically installed? Are they relevant to this conversation? Why do they exist? Don't know. We don't know. You can check your kernel version by running uname-r. Basic. Okay. Let's just take a quick look here. Okay. So what I'm seeing is they don't list every tablet. That's the first thing. So this could be out of date. But they list a bunch of old ones. Okay. A whole bunch of old ones. So I'm going to test it in 2.0 Pro 2025, and I don't think it's listed actually, but we'll see. I mean, like, again, we don't know if this list is up to date itself. In 2.0 Pro, oh, this list is going on longer than I imagined. PTH 860, that's good. Okay, they do list. Okay, so I guess the list is growing downwards. It does seem like it's a very up-to-date list. That's good. That's actually really good. Okay, let's take a look at chat. Let's see. Yeah, Mint or some Ubuntu flavor is fine. Ubuntu flavors are Ubuntu with a different looking desktop. It is the easier it is easier. I think you mean Mint and best for many. Let's see. Cube says this is not something you need to worry about at all. The packages for your distro have. Thank you, Cube. Thank you. So I'm gonna actually create a show notes so that I'll record that statement and add it to my docs later on. Okay, hang on a second. Let me just do some OneNoting in the background for a second. And show notes, let me add. What is today's date? 2025, 10/5, right? 10/6. This is Wacom on Linux. And I think Hube's comment was, we just don't need to worry about that. The specifics of all this this stuff. What was it called? Input Wacom and lib Wacom. Okay. So I'll just put this comment. Don't need to worry about. Oh, I'll just copy the comment. That's easier. There we go. Okay, thank you, Cube. Appreciate the clarification. I just want to say before I go, avoid Wayland for now. Use X11 for drawing tablet. Okay, I'll avoid Wayland. Whenever I see the word Wayland, I think of Wayland Yutani. It's kind of frightening. Wayland is good in the future, but it's not ready for that use. Let's see. To me, libwacom is the thing used to change settings. If you run GNOME desktop, the other one's core functionality, says Simon. For me, Wayland works fine, but I also don't have a graphics card, only a 2-in-1 laptop. Okay. But I shouldn't have to worry about Wayland in this stream, I don't think. See, Mir says, in a certain video, he looked similar. I can believe it. Okay, so that was just the background on what the overall level of support. Now, what we're going to do, let me just explain what we're going to do here, or what I have done. I don't think you can see it, but I have a Minisforum HX99G, which I've installed Linux Mint on the very latest version. It's like 22.2 Cinnamon, okay? And it's set up over here, and let me show you, is my overhead on? I think it may not be on. Let's take a look here. Okay, it is on. It's just not pointing in a useful place. So I just want to move it down here and show you what's going on. I kind of like I can control this overhead. Okay. It's kind of really cool. Okay, so, and let me fix the stupid, this camera always goes back to like manual focus, and I always have to tell it every stream to go back to continuous focus. It is such an irritation. I love this overhead cam. Okay, so this is a Minisforum HX99G. I believe this one has 64 gigabytes of RAM. It could be an HX77G, but I do believe it is. It is a HX99G. This is just a little full HD LCD monitor I got for like $100, like a very cheap monitor on Amazon, just as a spare monitor, right? So I have Linux. This is one of the desktops for the Linux Mint, and this gets really confusing because I have so many. I have two mice. I'm gonna move one of the mice because it's just confusing. This mouse and this keyboard is for the Linux Mix machine. This is for my streaming machine. I'm not gonna be typing on my streaming machine, so I'm just gonna move this out of the way. Okay. I will use the mouse to highlight your comments. So I'm gonna move this here. And move this here. Okay. And I have and what is this? Intuos Pro Small 2025. This is PTK 470. Okay. Let's see. A few comments here. Mir says, in case anyone didn't know, I use Linux, specifically Arch distribution. I always bring up my screenshot to use Arch. Why do people? So I've heard about Arch many times. I always get the sense Arch is very difficult to use. Like only people who are really invested in it really want to use Arch. In other words, it's not for casuals like me. Okay, and there's an extremely long USB cable. Let's plug it in. Actually, let me log in first, okay? Give me a second. Stupid cables are everywhere. This is one of those cables that's actually kind of rigid, so it's kind of irritating to move around. So let me plug it in here. Okay. And I'll go ahead and just log in. Okay, so here I am. You can't see, of course. You're seeing... How should I do this? Okay. I have multiple monitors, so I have technically two. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... how can I explain this to you? I'm going to change the way the monitors are mapped. I'm going to duplicate them, okay? The red is up here. You can't see it. I'm looking at it, and I'm going to just make to keep life simple for us, I'm gonna what do you call it? Duplicate these or not? How do you do that here? Mirror. I'm going mirror. Apply. Okay, that should keep life simple for all of us. Keep changes. Okay, so we're gonna pretend I have one monitor. It'll keep it simple for me since I can see it in front of me in two places, right? I didn't get it. I didn't get it. That went right over my head. Let's see. And Cube says the intended user-facing page for the Linux Wacom project is their GitHub IO page. I can send the link in Discord. That'd be great. Thank you, Cube. Thank you. And let me just... okay. Linux Wacom. Okay, I see. I see. And I'll add this to my page as well. So let me just put that in my show notes. 1 second. Oops, of course that is the wrong. Hang on a second. There we go. Okay. I had to switch keyboards. And then Cube also sent, oh my god. What? Okay, hang on. Are these all the distros? My god. Slackware? I can't even... I remember the name. I didn't think it was still around. That's interesting. And then Debian. That's... let me zoom out so I can get a comprehensive picture. So am I reading this correctly? Debian is most of these distros, actually. The size of the other ones are actually kind of stunning. Let's take a quick look here. I have never heard of a whole bunch of these. That is for sure. Why do we have so many distros? Is everyone making distros? Pop! OS I've heard about. There's another sort of channel on digital art called Moss Charmley, and they were doing a Linux series, and they were using Pop! OS. So does anyone use Pop! OS? Because I think they were recommending Pop! OS. That looks like a relatively new one. Anything else that's new? Most is Debian or Ubuntu based, and Ubuntu. Got it. Okay. I tried for a couple of days Zorin. I don't know if I can see it here, but yeah. Okay. Never try Pop! OS, Mir? Okay, let's get back to the meat of today's discussion. At the bottom is Android. Actually, I'm going to take a look at that. I am curious about that. Oh, this is really cool. Got it. I always, in my mind, forget Android is has a basis in the Linux kernel. Arch is always independent. I will make sure to tell my cousins and elderly that I think that is a joke you're making. Okay, back to Linux. Okay, so I plugged in the tablet. Okay, I plugged in the tablet, and let's see what happens. Okay, we're just gonna see what happens. Well, surprise, surprise, it actually worked. And I am surprised, by the way. I am surprised. I'm looking around for something circular, and you know why I'm looking around for something circular. I found it. Okay. Let's see. Gabriel, there was a whole month where I did Linux and Krita, and it was chaotic but fun since I tried Arch with Hyperland. What is Hyperland? I did more ricing than art. Ricing than art. Does rising mean like customizing? I believe. Ubuntu Studio is my favorite. You can control F by the. Oh, okay, it's FCG. Okay, thank you. I didn't realize that it was actually possible to do that. Okay, I already installed Krita, so let's see what I did. I don't know if what. Sorry, I'm just talking nonsense now. Let me try to show you. Let's see if it shows you what I installed. Let's see. Let me see. I'll search for Krita. I installed this one. Now, I don't know what the hell a Flatpak is from FlatHub. These are words I've never heard before. But I'm assuming it's like a Microsoft MSI file or something. Like an installer file. And the reason I picked this one is it had 4.7 stars. Whereas this one had 4.4 and this one had 0. So that's what happened. Okay, so let's go launch Krita. So I haven't used this yet. Like FlatHub, let's see, Flatpaks are kind of sandbox app. Okay, so that's good. That's good. Hopefully it means like it's not installing files in weird places. And FlatHub is like Google Play Store. Okay, so I'm getting the sense from you that I picked a safe choice, right? A safe choice. Okay, where the hell did Krita go? I thought hang on. Okay, it is here. Okay, it was already on actually. Can I ask the audience a question? And this is for your sake as well as for mine. In Windows, there's a way for me to scale up the UI so that just everything's a little bigger. Should I do that? And if so, how do I do that? Let me know. Never use Krita from FlatHub or any repo. What? So I just download it from the Krita.org? Okay, I'm gonna hit. Sorry, I'm using the pen on the screen, which I forget. Okay, so our first thing. Oh, sorry, Arch, you're putting them in the Discord, I think. Is that what's going on? Because I am looking. So everyone, should I uninstall Krita and reinstall a different Krita or something? Okay, let's create a new document. Okay, I'm going to zoom in. Rising is customizing. Okay, thank you, Simon. App image. Okay. Now, by the way, I'm making this mistake over and over, so you have to forgive me. I keep drawing on the monitor in front of me, forgetting that it's not. Krita lists Flatpak on the official site. It isn't unsafe. Okay, so I'm going to go with that theory. Okay, so let's just see what happens. Well, a couple of things strike me, honestly, and I'm going to tell it to you right now. I could be totally crazy here, and so I'm really interested in those of you who use a Wacom device. This feels more responsive than Windows. If I had to say my initial second reaction to this, it would be, I think Cube, you'll remember this. The first time with a Wacom tablet, I didn't use the Wacom driver, but I used Open Tablet driver. I think I told you and others on Discord, it felt like it totally noticed the difference in lag, and it felt almost unnatural because it felt like it was moving faster than I was thinking about it. That's actually the reaction I'm having now. Using this feels less laggy than on Windows. Now this could be my brain, but I'm curious if you or any others feel like that. I just feel like it's super responsive. Like, yeah, it's super responsive. Okay, so a couple of things. Obviously, position tracking is working. Obviously, pen tracking is working. Okay, so now this is a 16:9 tablet. Okay, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be right back. I'm going to get a tablet that does not have 16 by 9 because it's going to create it's going to let me investigate the problems. But I'll do that in a minute. What I'm going to do is say is, okay, pressure is working fine. In fact, it's very nice. And then I can just go to your settings. Let's just verify. Configure, create a tablet settings. What's it say? Lib input does have some smoothing, but it should be far less than Windows Wacom. I notice it. Okay, so obviously we do, I'm kind of celebrating. I don't see the Windows ink and WinTab choice, so I'm very happy about that. But let's open up Tablet Tester and just see. So obviously, tilt is working. Okay, so this is working fine. Honestly, this is working just amazingly fine. And for those of you who may not have caught all the context, I installed nothing, right, besides Krita. I simply had Linux installed on my machine, and I installed Krita, and I just plugged in the tablet. I did not install any drivers. So that's the first good news, that basically all the core features work out of the box, okay? So now we're going to test the non-core features, meaning, actually, I should say it differently. There are core features, but I wouldn't know how to do them. Let's try the simplest one, I think, which is pressure curves. So on Windows, I would hit the Windows key and type in Wacom. Now, I just did that. Now notice, because, I remember, folks, I have to play the role of, and it is not hard in this case, I have to play the role of a newbie. So I will do newbie things, okay? That's the deliberate thing I'm doing in the stream. So because I'm a newbie, I have a plugin in Wacom tablet. I'm typing in the word Wacom to see what appears. So obviously I do not see Wacom Center or Wacom tablet properties, but I do see this thing called graphics tablet. I assume this is part of the built-in Linux support. Okay. Confusing messaging. It says no stylus found, which would be, oops. I'm moving my stylus. I'm clicking on this, and it's still giving me this really crazy message. Let's try this again. Maybe it's just confused because I didn't start off that way. Okay, it's just confused. It's just confused. I'm using the stylus right now to move them out, the pointer. So let's click on tablet. No tablet detected. Okay, let's try. Please plug in a turn on Wacom tablet. So this is weird because the tablet is working. Let's go back and install. I'm reconnecting the tablet. Okay, so that's the first sort of problem. Okay. Now, just in case, I'm gonna get another tablet, and I'll be right back with another tablet because anyway, it might be a good diagnostic troubleshooting, as well as I need to use another tablet for other reasons. Be right back. Okay, I am back, and I've got a PTH 660 in front of me. I'm going to disconnect the current Wacom, and we're just going to see if anything different happens. Okay. Where Where's the USB on this thing? Weird. Oh, now it works. Okay, so there seems to be a little bit of confusion maybe with these newer Wacom tablets. Interesting. So I'm going to move off the PTK 470 over there. I'm trying to catch up to this discussion. So what's the verdict? Is the flat pack unsafe or sorry, is the flat pack official? Okay, so I think Cube is given the answer. I would not recommend Flatpak as the first thing to go to for any software. Okay, but if it works, and it seems to be somewhat endorsed here. Interesting. Okay, so I'll stick with it for right now. So when I plugged in the PTH 660, this UI seemed to work. So I see a stylus and I see a tablet. So this is good. Oops, I clicked off the thing. What do I see? Erasure pressure. Top button. So okay. Bottom button. Okay, I'm gonna leave it. I usually do bottom button as right click. I use top one as... They're missing a lot of options. Like in Wacom, you can assign this to a whole bunch of stuff. Like even double click and things like that. So I'll leave it. I'll be explicit that I want... I'll just leave it as default for top, actually. Tip pressure feel. Okay, so... don't know what that's doing. I mean, I know what it's supposed to be doing, but I don't see the curve. Okay. Oh, you can make this bigger, it looks like. Let's see. Oops, I don't want to make it that big. It looks weird. So if I make it softer, it should get thicker easily. Yep. If I make it... Yeah, I have to press down really hard now. Okay. So this is good. It's basic, it works. It knows which pen it is, Pro Pen 2. I wonder what happens if I put a Pro Pen 3. No, it doesn't recognize Pro Pen 3 at all, of course. Let's see. Simon says the flat pack is fine. Mir is 7 using KDE. I don't know what I'm using. I just installed Mint with all the defaults, so I don't know if I'm using KDE. I'll be honest with you folks, I'm not entirely sure what KDE is. Is KDE like okay, here's my understanding. Wayland is like how stuff gets rendered to the screen, or things like Wayland X11, and then KDE is like the UI layer, like how the windows show and buttons and all that. Cinnamon. Yeah, it's Mint. It's Cinnamon. Yes. It's Cinnamon. 22.2 Cinnamon. 7 should get Cashy OS. I have never heard of that one. Okay, let's look at the tablet. So we know how to do pressure curve, though it's limited. It's limited. We know how to assign the buttons, though it's limited. Okay? But I think I'm talking here to people who are not experts. I mean, I'm talking to people who might be watching the stream who are just curious about Wacom on Linux. You can tell this UI is missing a lot of things, okay? Intuos Pro M. It's interesting. They actually have their icon is for a really old Intuos. Like an Intuos 2, it looks like. So they call tracking mode. So the absolute is normal, and touchpad is relative, is what we would call mouse mode. Okay, so they have that support. Left hand. Okay, that's cool that they have that. Let's see, map to monitor. Map to single monitor. Okay, so... Okay, this is good. This is good. This is what I want to test. Okay, so let's leave it alone for a second. I only have a single monitor. Hang on a second. I'm trying to figure out what I need to do. Oh yeah, I need something that is, just to prove it. I have something circular on my desk, on my tablet, okay? And I'm gonna draw. Oops. Let me change the pressure curve back. It's a little screwed up. I want the, where is it? This thing, no. Where the hell does, well, let's find it again. I can't. I'm unable to type correctly. Oh, touch works. That's what's confusing me. Let me turn off touch. With the hardware button. I was like really getting confused why things won't work. Okay. And things are getting a little odd here. Let me close some of these windows. Okay, I found this again. Okay, I want to go back to the normal. Let's see. I think there's some more advanced options if you use the CLI, but also keep in mind this is only Cinnamon's tablet config UI. Others like KDE or GNOME will have different settings. So Cinnamon is. Oh, sorry. How can I say it? From your sentence, I'm understand that Cinnamon. Cinnamon is a peer of KDE and GNOME. Seven wants to use a specific key as eraser only. For Krita, yeah. But I think I figured it out with that 10 brush script, right? I think I know how to do that. Okay, let's get back to Krita. And let me zoom out. I don't need to zoom out for this, but why am I not drawing? Oh, god darn it. I hit. Okay, that's good enough. It's good enough. Okay, let's do the test. This is something. Oh. I keep hitting buttons I don't mean to hit. Okay, let's see. You gotta focus on the interior shape. Okay, so obviously there's distortion, right? I'm tracing a circular object. And you can see what an oval it is. So this is a common problem. In Windows, there'd be a setting called, or Mac OS would be a setting called force proportions. So now we're going to have to, let's see. EP8169, just got my Wacom tablet yesterday. I'm also on Linux. Okay. I've been using Mac OS for the last 2 months. I might try going to Linux for a while, right? Cinnamon is like is a desktop environment like KDE or GNOME. Got it. I didn't realize that because when I saw Mint Cinnamon, I thought Cinnamon was like a code name for the Mint version. Does that make sense? Like I thought it was Mint Cinnamon. If that makes any sense, right? Like it's like the next code name of it, like macOS Sequoia, that kind of thing. You can use / okay. I like Keem's comment. I don't know much about configuring Linux Wacom drivers. Since I don't use them, I can tell you exactly how to delete them and use OpenTablet though. Well, we might do OpenTablet driver in this one. But I wanted to cover the basics first before I got to anything. Okay, so we're gonna try fixing this problem of distortion. And I think it's going to be this. Look at this. This is such a wild labeling. Keep aspect ratio. Good. Letterbox. What? That I have never considered using letterbox to explain what's happening. That's interesting. Okay, let's hit it. Okay, I'm going to leave this up. Now I'm going to draw this in red, okay? Or in whatever color that is. Let's see. Did it fix the problem or not? Well, there we go. We got a circle now, don't we? So that's good. Now we know in Linux how to deal with this force proportions thing, okay? Next thing we have to figure out is these buttons. Okay. And I think map to monitor, if I have multiple monitors, we could do that, but I'm not going to deal with that right now, okay? It's pretty obvious. UI's a little bit, you know, could be cleaned up, but look, it's working, okay? There's map buttons. Let's see. Button 0. So this tablet has 8 buttons. I'm assuming it has some database of which tablet, how many buttons. So I can make it send a keystroke, switch monitor. So that's display toggle. Okay, that's good. Show on-screen help. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's just, because it's benign. Show on-screen help, okay? Look at the top button. It's not doing anything. Let's go back here and try it again. Let's try, oops, map buttons. Send keystroke. I'm gonna have the top button send the E keystroke. How's that? But where's the keystroke? To edit a shortcut, use the send keystroke action, press the keyboard shortcut button, and hold down. Huh? This UI sucks. It's just not obvious how to map to keystroke. No, I'm using Albert. I'm using this dish, right? That's how I drew the circle. It's not me. It's the dish. So that's why it looks smoother than it should. Okay. Let's see what Amir says. If I have a child with learning disabilities, when he gets the hearing aids, my first sentence would be, is this like an arch thing? Amir says cinnamon wasn't popular until mint came out. Keep in mind that, oh, Simon, thank you for clarifying that, because I wasn't sure myself. All the things that 7pen shows here in the UI are specific to Cinnamon. Didn't know that. I thought they were just common to Linux, so that is good to know. So let me ask the chat, since not everyone... Okay, you have to remember... Hang on, let me just put on my face in the normal way. You know, you all are my audience, obviously. A lot of you are very technically savvy. But a lot of my audience, eventually I'll make a YouTube video, a pre-recorded one, and talk about this topic. So the question I have for you is, for those people who are they're more just the artists, right? And maybe the reason they want to go to Windows is to Linux is they're having issues with Windows, either in terms of cost or reliability or some other issue. What would you recommend? I stick with Mint because I've always been told it's easy, and I think it is. But if there's something else, a normal human, what would you recommend, a normal person to try? Because I'll try that, actually. I'm totally willing to try. Or one that you think I should try just so I have a background to help people. That would be really great to know. Okay? So buttons here, a little lame. But now, thank you for clarifying, Simon. This is actually... see, Simon says KDE has much more options. You can also select the scaling. Okay. I'm actually gonna copy that text and put it in my show notes, Simon, because that's actually quite useful to know this fact. Okay, give me a second. I need to use my keyboard. Oh, copy text. So that's interesting that there might be different UI and different distros for configuring a Bazite. Bazite's a little oriented toward gaming, right? I'm gonna write down all these. I'm gonna write some of these distro suggestions. Suggestions. We got Bazite. Mir wants me to use CachyOS. Literally, I've never heard it until Mir has mentioned it today. Simon uses Kubuntu. EndeavourOS. I have never heard of that one either. Let's see. Simon says, Mentor distro KDE. Cashy. Okay, I may have to try Arch one day just for Mir's sake. Also, most people don't configure anything with the tablets after. It just works when they plug it in. How can they not notice the distortion, though? I mean, like, it's crazy. I guess if they're using it for not for drawing. Right? I'm just gonna... Oops, same comment. Fedora... Fedora 42. Okay, I'll just write that down. EndeavourOS is based on Arch. Okay. Ubuntu Studio. What the hell is Ubuntu Studio? I've never heard of it. I saw you mention it earlier, Albert, but I assumed it was like Visual Studio or something, like a development environment. So let's just take a look. I'm intrigued. Ubuntu Studio. Oh, this is interesting. A content creation studio on your computer. It's free. So it's designed for creatives. So it already comes with some things. Do not use Manjaro. Do not use what? Could you elaborate for me, Cube? I'll put that down. But could you tell me, like, what is it? Is it just too difficult for people? Maybe the easiest for non-tech... Koyo has its comment here. Maybe the easiest for non-techie artists is just to buy a Steam Deck. I do want to try that. In fact, let me put that down as a note, Koyo. Like, this is going to be my, ideas for future streams, which is like Steam Deck. Using a Steam Deck. I have a Stream Deck in front of me for having buttons. In fact, I type it Steam Deck. Steam Deck is Arch. Linux, let's write these down here. Okay, so we did the first basic thing, which is Arch is on my head because of Mir. We did the first basic thing. We tried a pen tablet with mint cinnamon, and I think I've learned a lot already. Bazite, yeah. I think Cube had mentioned that, Alderheim. And now we're going to try a pen display. Okay. So you have to give me a moment because I need to sort of disassemble a few things, but you'll understand what's happening. Let's see if I can just make sure we're scrolling in the right direction. That's up, down. Okay, and actually this is a good time. I need to take a quick bio break. I'll be right back, okay? Okay, I am back. Let's take a quick look at the chat. Let's see. I think I left with just for Cube's comment. Manjaro team makes a ton of dumb decisions that break stuff for nonsensical reasons. The idea was to make Arch easy, but they did not succeed. Okay, interesting. Bazite tries to be similar to SteamOS in being super easy to use and immutable. All right, now let's get instant display on here. Funny Rain. There's an artist blog that reviews tablets on Linux. Yeah, that is David Revoy, I think. Definitely David Revoy at Hiram. The classic newbie uses Kali Linux on real hardware. Why there's so many Linuxes? You don't have to try Arch after trying Endeavor, Cache. Both of them are based on Arch. Bazite. Actually, let me take a look at Bazite real quick. Actually, before I do Bazite, let's continue to look on Ubuntu Studio. Okay. I like the idea of everything being installed already. Let me show you. I know you can't see what I'm seeing. I like the idea. So maybe ultimately, if people say they want to use Linux, I want to give a recommendation. And obviously the things I'm looking for is stuff that kind of works out of the box, so they don't have to like think about too much. So if things come with things installed and have UIs for things, that's great. Now I notice, actually, do you notice on the far right, a drawing tablet is actually shown here, right? So I tell you what, let me put it in my notes. I'm going to give Ubuntu Studio a try. Studio. So this mini PC I have here, I actually dedicated for Linux. So, you know, I can wipe it and do whatever I need to. That's fine. Okay. So now we're going to try a slightly different thing. Because, you know, right now I have a PTH 660. We're going to try a different tablet. You know what we're going to try? We are going to try a pen display. So I've got, Wacom Moving Pad, okay? 13. No, sorry, not Moving Pad, Wacom Moving 13, okay? So give me a moment, because I'm going to have to disconnect and reconnect this monitor. Let's disconnect. Okay. And let's move this out of the way. Okay, and then this should get plugged in on this side. And just waiting for the Wacom. Okay, so it just appeared. Everything looks correct. Let me show you what I am. I may have to configure things, so let's just take a look here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to configure a little bit. Not a problem, I know how to do that now. So I need to go to display settings, just like Windows. And I want a mirror. Apply. Keep changes. Okay, great. So now I can see. So it's functionally like it was a second ago. Now though, so the first thing is I actually have the PTH 660 attached at the same time. And I'm gonna see, can I use it at the same time? Well, that's interesting, I can. And let's just do my circle test just to see if things are normal. Yep. They're normal. The slight distortion you see is because the way I'm bending the pen. It's not really because there's a problem. Okay. Okay, so that's fine. So I actually have two tablets installed or connected to this computer, which is interesting. Now, let's take a look at what that UI says, though, because I think That's going to be an issue. Or a Titan Wacom. So it doesn't, it's unaware of what's going on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug the Intuos Pro. And I'm going to try again. Mira, just a little bit of a rash there that I've had. Not a rash, but like a little bit of inflammation there, that's all. On this side. Kind of an autoimmune thing. Okay, so the Wacom moving pad, it's non-functional. So that was interesting. Some tablets are just not supported apparently. Okay, even then, let's take a look. Was the moving pad supposed to be supported? Because it should have been in this list. So let's take a look here. I want to do a pen display. That's why I'm doing this. The Wacom 112 says, Wacom 113, Intuos. It says the moving should work, right? But it is not. It is not working. So not sure. Let me try it one more time. Yeah, it's just not. I'm going to try to turn on the touch, see if touch works on it. Touch is on. Totally non-responsive. So it doesn't seem to understand this tablet is even there. Like nothing at all. I'm trying with both the Pro Pen 2 and Pro Pen 3. Nothing is happening correctly with it. So a little bit of a mystery. So let's try one more tablet. I'm going to get a Wacom, an older tablet, a Wacom 113 Touch, which should work. Okay, right? I'll be right back. Okay, Cube has a suggestion, so I'm going to follow that suggestion before I abandon the moving. Run ls USB to see if Linux sees it. Okay, let's find this terminal, I guess. By the way, I'm not sure why the start menu, so to speak, is appearing so small. It's a little, I guess I could resize it. I guess I must have accidentally resized it. Okay, let's try ls USB. Okay. I'm looking for something that might indicate Wacom. I don't see anything. I don't see anything. Let me plug in, just as a comparison, let me plug in the Intuos Pro to see what it would recognize if that was plugged in. And let me just move the mouse around to verify it does. Yeah, that's the Intuos Pro. Okay. Now let's see what LS USB does. Do I see anything here saying Wacom? I do. I see a Wacom entry. 056A. Oh, I see. You're the table here. I should see that device ID, but I'm not. Got it. Okay. Thanks, Q. Got it. At least I do now, since I plugged in the PTH 660. I do see that one. But this is good to know. This is actually like good to see that there's a debugging step, because I would never have known this. Okay. So I'm going to unplug the Intuos Pro. I'm going to unplug the Wacom Moving. Let me put that somewhere else. And I'm going to try the Wacom 113 Touch, model number DTH134. Let's see. Let's see it. Okay, the screen, it knows the screen is there. That's good. I'm gonna need to get a pen. I have a Samsung. Let me just do the LS USB to see if it recognizes it. Well, I don't see the word Wacom when I plug this in either. And the pen does, oh sorry, I need a UDEMR pen. Yeah, the pen is non-functional, right? So it looks like I had previously thought that the support would be, sorry, I know I am not duplicating the screen. I had previously thought that the support for this was going to be very, very out of the box. But it looks like it is, you could be put in a position where it should work, but your Wacom tablet might not be recognized. So that's interesting for me. Okay. Let me try a different pen tablet, a more popular one, or one that I know the OSU players use, which is the CTL672, the one by Wacom series, just so we're complete in testing it. So give me a second. Oh, looks like Cube has some suggestions here. Let's see. I don't know if 7 has ever even thought about trying Linux back. I used Linux 30 years ago. What are you talking about? That's all I used. Just to give you a sense of how long. Now, this is not going to make much sense, but I was on Linux back when it was Python, like 0.8, version 0.8. Okay, and I didn't know how to use Windows until I got to really Microsoft. Honestly, you can pipe it into grep and filter for some string to show only some. Oh, that's useful for me to know. So let me just try that out. That's a really, let's see. Again, I have to, some of the stuff is just lost in my brain because it's so long ago. Grep, 0. Let me do grep, just Linux, because I know it's going to return something. Did I not do it right? You also pipe it in grep filter for some string. Interesting. Oh, maybe it's capital. I get it. Okay, that's useful. So if I want to search for Wacom, I would search like this, right? Okay, that's useful. That's useful to know. Let us... Where's the tablet? I have the infamous CTL672. Okay, I need to reconnect things here so I get another monitor back. So give me a minute. Okay, that's the right one. Okay. Let's plug it in. I may have to turn it on. Hello. Maybe that's not the right port. Dash grep dash got it. Thank you, Cube. Okay, so you're seeing what I'm seeing. Where's my mouse though? There we go. Okay, so now I have a Wacom CTL672 with a little micro USB to USB adapter, because it uses this older port type. Okay. Then I'm going to connect it. And now let's see. LP190K. It works out of the box. Now, what will the Wacom, the graphics tablet driver thing say? Now, let's close these windows here. 1 by Wacom Medium. So it does recognize, once I touch the stylus, it's there. I have thought about it, actually. Let me get on. So, someone is asking, have I ever thought about doing a tablet giveaway? You know, I collect the tablets for testing reasons. So eventually, I think one day I will have tablets that I don't need anymore. You know, like I think I would keep all my Wacoms, honestly, just because like they have sentimental or historical value. Would I keep like an old Huion? I don't know if I do that. Maybe one day. And there's all sorts of issues to sort out. Like I don't know how it legally works. I don't know the tax implications. How does it get shipped to people? One thing I've thought about doing, honestly, is... Now keep in mind, I have no income. I'm retired. Okay. One thing I've thought about doing is doing like a giveaway. Meaning, I guess that would mean like, you know, when I do, for example, my drawing tablet award stream, is to like... someone who in chat would like win something. Ideally, I would not have to physically do anything to get them a tablet. Like, it would be like I set aside a budget, and then they can pick the tablet they want in that budget, and I would like order it, I guess, on Amazon and have it shipped to them. But like, you see the complications? It's like Amazon doesn't ship everywhere, and then how does this legally work? It's just a mess, right? But anyway, I have thought about it. More as a gift to my audience, not really like a... That's a cue. If it's free to enter the giveaway, there shouldn't be any issues. If it's paid entry stuff where you get into potential legal... Oh, it is paid. Yeah, got it. And have to exploit loopholes for it to be... Got it. So, yeah, I would never ask someone to pay something to... Yeah, it wouldn't be like that. My idea was always just like, you know, if I see people in chat, like randomly select one and like, you know, ideally it would work like this. I would just say, I would click a button somewhere and it would just randomly find someone in chat and it would send them a link saying, hey, here's like an Amazon gift card and like, you know, or not a gift card. You want to give something, not just like random money. That'd be kind of silly, I guess. But here's a tablet. Yeah. To a specific tablet, and they get that tablet, right? That would be my idea. More for fun than for audience building, right? Though for Hera, who we treat very specially on this channel, Hera's coming to the United States, and I said, again, for many reasons, I have 6 TourBox devices for sort of weird reasons. And I told her, hey, if she stops by Seattle, I'll give her a free TourBox. So that is technically a giveaway, in a sense. Okay, so the verdict is pretty simple with the CTL 672. It just works, right? Now, I'm not seeing pressure on this thing, which is giving me some concern. I thought I saw it here. See it? But not here. But I'm on the right pen or not? Oh, I'm not on the right pen. Okay, sorry. Pressure works fine, yeah. Again, I'm still noticing how responsive it is. There's just less, so that's another observation. Let's see. Never joining because it's going to be a pain to send stuff. That's the thing, right? It would be easy if everyone was in the United States, because then I could just like, I know Amazon will get it to them. Thanks for the Volgons. Yeah, I just figured that out, that it was the type of brush. I forgot I had it on the fine liner. But as you get into other places, and lots of people tell me Amazon doesn't work for them, right? And then there's like, you know, I mean, just to be quite honest, you want to send things out, but then you want to keep things private about where your address is and your name or whatever. And like, I can see why it's difficult, right? But I will actually investigate this. Yet another +1 for one buy. True. So I'm satisfied. I don't think I'll go to the US anytime soon because of danger level. I'm paranoid getting mail. Well, I don't think it's that unsafe, Mira. I got to tell you. It is a very safe, relatively safe country. Actually, it is very safe. Homicide rate is relatively low. And actually the vast majority of the country has a homicide rate close to that of... I shouldn't be talking about homicide rates. I study statistics of numbers a lot, of just like social stuff. And one of the questions people always ask me is, sorry, let me just be clear on what I'm talking about. There's a broad sense that things are unsafe in the United States, okay? And so I point out to people that the homicide rate has declined by like an enormous amount since the like 1992. Like it's a third of what it used to be. On top of that, most places in the country have really low homicide rate. Like it's just Virginia's safe. Most places are safe, right? In fact, it would be better to say there are certain cities and counties where things are unsafe and everything else is dramatically safe. Even if you take a city like Chicago, which has I'm just to show you how much I study this topic. Chicago has a homicide rate of it's crazy. It would be it's like 100 people per 100,000, which is a huge number. Whereas the overall United States average is 5 per 100,000. But in Chicago, there's like, I don't know, I'm making up the number, like 50 different neighborhoods. Those violence is really contained into just a small set of, like, I don't know, 15, 10 neighborhoods. Lots of neighborhoods in Chicago experience 0 homicides, right? So yeah, it's a safe country. I don't want anyone to think it is. California? No, California is not that dangerous. Vegas, I've heard that Vegas has gotten a little more violent, actually. My brother lives there. But I'd have to study the numbers. Los Angeles, I've played many GTA. Well, GTA is a different view of the world, I'll say. Okay, so I think overall I could say lots of things work well on Linux. My question, I'm going to direct this one at Cube. Should I try Open Tablet Driver on Linux, Cube? Would that be worth doing on stream or not? You let me know. I mean, I'm good either way. But since I've never done it exactly, I am curious. And it may prompt some other questions for us to answer, like, is it safe to install when other driver things are installed? Do I have to do anything specific? I'd also like to know, I guess just personally see the experience. New York? I think New York is safe. Baltimore less so, much less so. Again, it's really about which neighborhoods you're in. It's less about the entire city, because New York's like a very big city. And I used to live in New York. Is there anything that you think is lacking from the built-in drivers? Well, I would say, let me take a look at it again, and I'll answer your question. And by built-in driver, of course, there's the UI I'm looking at, right? Which is the graphics tablet app here. I would say the core stuff is fine, right? I see that we have force proportions, the rotation kind of thing, mapping different monitors. The biggest thing that I think someone might stumble into, honestly, is again, with this UI, sorry, you can't see it, is the fact that the pressure curve is not visualized, right? Even though it's there. And the other thing would be that I'm struggling setting, this just could be the UI, is how to select the buttons to do like a click, a keyboard thing, because it was very difficult for me, right? I could never get that work. My favorite place to live in the U.S. would be Texas. My ex-partner was from there, in Virginia, because... Oh, Ed's in Virginia. Virginia's a nice place. I used to live there too, in Virginia Beach. Okay, yeah, let's do OTD. I'd love to do it. Okay, so because I've never installed OTD on Linux, so I have no idea what the hell to do. So I try to be naive about all things, right? Meaning I try to approach them like just any normal, non-technical person would. So I will go to Chrome, and we will say Open Tablet Driver. And I'll just follow the instructions. Is it easier on Linux? OTD can't help you too much with curve visuals, though Slimy still it does have Desmos. Yeah, Desmos. Yeah, I forgot about that. But keyboard key bindings for sure. Yes, that's what I recall. It's been a while since I used it. Ed is in New York right now because of his partner, but origin is Virginia. Got it. I lived in Virginia Beach for a few years. Windows installation guide. Latest release. It's a .deb file. Okay, let's see what happens. Remember, I have no idea what to do. I'm just doing what the instructions say. And okay, let's find this deb file. Okay, I'll double click it, because that's what we do with deb files, right? We click them, and then it says install pack. Before I do this, let me check one thing. I think this is Mint specific, I guess. There's a tool called Software Manager. Would Open Tablet Driver be there? Open Tablet. I don't see that. I just want to check because some people want to do things this way. Okay, it's not there. Not that I can see anyway. Thank you, Monty. Yeah, I forgot actually. I made it just so everyone sees it. I'll show it to everyone. Hang on. Let me find out where it is. Where's my Finder? I don't even know where I. You find a window. There we go. Okay, let me show you so everyone sees it. Give me a second. It's on my OneDrive. On Documents. Yeah, here we go. This is my fancy thumbnail, which I'll show you in just a second. This is my fancy thumbnail, right? Did not take. You know what? Because AI art looks really slick all the time and like just super well done. I actually enjoy making my thumbnails and like graphics as primitive and raw as possible, right? So that was my thumbnail. Okay. Pseudo soulful. Okay. So mirror, it took I think 30 minutes to draw, honestly. Maybe pseudo apt would be better instead of this deb file. Keanu Steve, we'll get to Affinity in just a minute. Let me just get this installed. OTD has unofficial fallback, but it's not recommended. Okay, so I'm gonna just click on this deb file, okay? Because it's easier. Authentication required. Sure. Well, oh, you can't see what I'm doing. Let me redo that. Let me redo that so everyone sees what I did. I clicked on the deb file. It says install package. I type in some password stuff. Authenticate. Additional stuff has to be installed. .NET has to be installed. That's interesting. Continue. I hope all these flat packs and deb files don't interfere with each other in some weird way. Installation was successful. Okay, that's a start. Now here's the question I have. Is the Wacom, the built-in driver support gonna mess up, with this thing? Who knows? Okay. How do I launch the driver UI? Where is Open Tablet Driver? If I look in here and just type in Open Tablet Driver, I see these two things, which is the deb file, and this is, let's click it. Okay, I'm familiar with this UI, of course. It says connecting to the daemon, and the tablet is connected, by the way. But nothing's happening. Verify the daemon is running. So it should be safe here. They'll tell me if another version is installed from the source and ask you to. Got it. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch tablets to my PTH 660. That doesn't seem to be the problem, but I'm just curious if it triggers something to happen. Thank you, Mir. That would help. There was, oh, I missed a step of installation, he was saying. Okay, sorry. This is my fault. Refer to this section. Systemd. Make sure you have enabled systemd service. Sure, I'm happy to do that. Oops. How do you clear the... forget it. Let's paste. Created symlink. Okay. And then... I don't know... It says if the daemon doesn't reliably auto-start and boot, then the desktop environment is not configured correctly to start integrate with systemd. For desktop, I don't even know what this means. Clear. Oh, okay. I should have guessed that. Thank you. So I did something, though I don't know what it does. Okay, but... Okay, let's try it again. I did that command, but that's only affecting boot. How do I start it now? Let's just see what happens. It does work. Okay. So I didn't have to reboot to get it to work. Okay, so it is working. It did recognize the tablet. Actually, it's a little weird. I gotta figure out why is it saying there's a tablet installed. Oh, I do have it connected. Sorry, I didn't think I had this tablet connected. So it is working. It is working. Okay. So what we have to do is again, we have to. It's only one monitor, so that's fine. I need to mix the aspect ratio. So ISO lock aspect ratio. So these numbers should be the same. 1.7778 in both rectangles. So that's good. And for me, I actually move this rectangle up so that I have more space between me and the drawing area, right? Just a little more convenient for my hand. I don't leave it where it is or move it down and move it all the way up. Then I make sure it's in, oh, this is interesting. There's absolute, relative, and artist. I'm going to guess, can tell me if I'm wrong. Artist mode means absolute, sorry. I think I understand absolute and artist, relative mode. Artist means I have pressure, sensitivity, and tilt. I'm guessing I don't have those features in absolute and relative. So I'm going to pick, it was on artist mode. Cube says preemptive reminder to apply and save. Yes, apply and save. Apply and save. It's on the right tablet, okay? And then I need to... Actually, let me move my CTL602 out of the way. Then, let's get my Pro Pen 2. So it is working. I'm just moving. I don't feel any distortion for sure. Let's go test it out here. Where did Krita go? And let me just do it this way. Create. Okay. So pressure sensitivity is, let me make the brush a bit bigger. It's all working. First of all, I'm loving it that I did not have to deal with Windows Ink. Okay? I'm loving it that I did not have to deal with Windows Ink. It just feels good to draw with. I mean, there's no complaint here. Does tilt work? I'm going to take a look at the tablet tester for this. Yep, TX, TY are changing, so that's fine. And this reminds me, I need to create a test brush for tilt. Let me just note that down. Let's see, follow up. I'm typing in the wrong machine. Create test brush in Krita for tilt. What I do is for test brush for Krita, I take tilt and I map it to the color of the stroke so that you can see if tilt is smooth or not. Okay, and then let's do the next thing, which is how do I know how to do force proportions, of course. Pressure and tilt are working, right? I think the buttons is what I would now try to figure out. And that is on pen settings. I have never done this on Linux. Adaptive binding tip. I'm going to leave that where it's at. Eraser binding, adaptive binding eraser. Let's see if the eraser works. See? Now I'm going to flip it upside down and erase. Eraser works. You can't see it. Here's me drawing with the tip. Flip the pen. Eraser works. Okay, I'm already happy that those things work, right? Unlike in Windows where it's a disaster. And then let's go back to Open Tablet Driver. Pen binding button 1, button 2. What the heck does that mean? Button 1, button 2. No, my channel is not monetized, Mir. Okay, press the first button. Does anything happen? Okay, if I'm hovering, or even if I'm not hovering. No, wait a second. If I'm hovering, I'll get this. That's good. And if I'm not hovering, I pan it. Okay, so both buttons are recognized and both buttons they do something. Let me change the second button to do something, just to verify I know how to do it, which is I want the second button to be a keystroke. How do I do that? Key binding. Key is E. Apply. Apply, save. Apply, save. I just keep on clicking them. I'm going to test that in a second, Mir. Thank you. Good suggestion. Okay, this is interesting. I'm drawing. Let me just erase everything. I'm drawing everything. And I set the second button to the E key. And now watch. It's going to switch the eraser in a second. We'll be in the erasing mode. But what's happening is, can you see, actually, you see it blinking? It looks like it's sending the erase key over and over. What I expected to happen is that it's going to hold the erase key down, which is what you'd want to happen for Krita. Now, but that's one usage. The other case is you do want to press. So it does press, right? And I swap back. Okay, that works. So I don't know, that's something Cube maybe to think about for OTD, which is like these cases where someone wants they want the button, I don't know what the technical term is, they want when you press the button to hold the key down and not repeatedly send the key. And I should test this to see what other drivers do actually. Because I don't know if they're consistent about this either. Let's go back to OTD and try what Mir said. Let's see. Cube says, I'm pretty sure that's not OTD's fault. OTD does not control key repeats. Okay, thank you for clarifying. And sorry if I feel like sorry if it seems like I'm just complaining about OTD. I'm just trying to react to what's actually happening in front of me. Okay, I closed the OTD window again. So overall, Cube, I would say I didn't realize how easy it was to use OTD on Linux. Okay, that's probably my biggest reaction out of all this, is that I thought it was going to be much harder because I am very used to the way it works on Windows, which requires a lot of setup for an artist. Oops, I keep on clicking on open. Okay, so no, that's good. And just this is more for, I know how to use this already, but I want people to see it because it's such a useful plugin. You get a plugin manager, and where is it? Slimy Scylla. So everyone, Cube made Slimy Scylla, and I'd recommend you install it. And I'll show you why. Okay, it's actually super cool. So you install it, and I think I have to enable it here. Is it enabled? No, not here. You install it here, and then I think under somewhere, I may be confused. Let me look at this again. When they're installed, they're at the top. Don't I have to enable this or something? Or maybe it's under filters. Yeah. That always gets me confused because it's like you see it in plugins and then you see it in filters. I mean, I guess I get the logic. So when you install that one plugin, you get a bunch of filters, okay? And let's start with the most basic one, which is pressure curve. Now, there's no UI with an actual literally rendered pressure curve. But roughly speaking, there is a online app that will show you what these numbers do. But instead of doing that, let's just change these values a little bit. I think, I don't know. Let's enable this. Let's see. You probably can set a bind to send the eraser and immediately unpress the button so it can't repeat. Got it. Without it. Okay, interesting. I'll try that later. So which is the... Oh, I forgot how this even works. Okay, I'm going to skip this one for a while. I'm going to show people quantize, actually. This is actually a cool demo because you can actually... I think it was scale, right? If I want to quantize to, let's say, 6. Let's go back here and try it. Yeah. So you see what... Oh, that's wild. So this is quantizing the position. I don't think I tried this one. That's actually kind of cool. So this isn't what I meant, but to show you. I meant to show you actually. Let me disable this one. Where is it? Yeah, pressure smoothing. This is position. I want pressure smoothing. Pressure. Oh, that's weird. Oh, the mouse is jumping because the quantize is on. Okay, hang on. I got it. I forget that this setting applies to the way the pointer works in general. Okay, now it should be okay. You can hover over the tooltips for more. Okay. Let's go. I keep on forgetting about hover as well. Pressure smoothing. So this is pressure processing, moving average, right? So let's enable it. And let's, actually, let me disable it. Save, apply, go back to this, erase this. I want to show you low pressure artifacts. So I'm drawing this as low pressure as possible, okay? And you can see that there's a little bit of bumpiness there, and some of that actually is literally the grain on the tablet. Some of that's me, right? Actually, this brush is not correct. The pressure curve, I can just tell. I want this. Yeah, here it goes. I want this. Okay, watch this. This is what a super good Wacom looks like when you draw at low pressure with a really big brush. Look at all the little bumps. Again, some of the bumps are the texture of the surface. Some is my hand. Some is just the way it all comes together. Doesn't look very attractive, but this is actually very normal, in fact. And this is the best pen on the market. So what is useful, this is one that Open Tablet Driver and the Slimy Scylla plugin makes really easy, is you turn on, you do two things. You use pressure curves and you use pressure smoothing. Now I'm gonna focus just on smoothing for a second, okay? So let's just show you this. Let's enable smoothing. And I may need to turn it up a little bit. Let's see. Save, apply. Let me see. Why am I not seeing the effect I want? I'm gonna just jack it up to like a 80 to see. Okay. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing the effect I want. Oh, wait a second. I should have used exponential moving average. Okay, hang on. My mistake, everyone. I'm going to set this to 0.5, okay? I keep forgetting there's the one I use is exponential. Okay, now watch. It should be a little bit better. It is a little bit better, not quite as jumpy. Let's move it up to, actually like 8. Still not getting the entire effect I want. Let's try 9.9. And actually, you know what? I don't know if it goes from 0 to 1 or 0 to 100. So let's go ahead and just jump it up to 50. Okay. I'm not fooling. When I implemented EMA smoothing for pressure, I got slightly different results, but I'm not sure why. You've enabled the tilt one. Oh God, I am blind today. Thank you, Cube. I am completely blind today. Let's try this one more time. Pressure processing smoothing amount. And let's just go to 0.8, okay? So twice I've done this incorrectly. Okay, there it is. You see how smooth that is? Don't worry about the line going back and forth. That's just me not drawing well. The point is, look how at super low pressure. Remember, the brush is actually this thick. Okay, that's how big it actually is. It's much more stable, right? And if you combine this with pressure curves, you'll get just much smoother strokes in general, right? Now, this is the reason I like pressure smoothing, EMA smoothing, is that it does not lag the position of your stroke at all. It lags how fast pressure responds to you, right? And in some cases you want that. You actually do want that. Now another thing that you'll notice when you do this kind of smoothing is I'm going to flick the stroke, right? It won't end quite the same way as you're used to. It'll tend to end thicker, even though you're pulling away from the surface of the tablet. And I'm going to remove 3 of these. Let's see, remove tail pressure report. Let's see if, yeah, see, I'm pulling away. It is giving it sometimes a sharp point. But for those of you who pull up on your strokes and they get real thin, this is one way of getting rid of that. Let's see, Tiamat and all. With Open Tablet Driver, can people use different tablets and brands on the same computer? Yeah, and Tiamat, I've done that many times. Like any of the many tablet supports you can mix and match without even restarting OTD. It's definitely worth a try. I would say Tiamat, if you do it, it does take a little bit longer to configure on Windows, but it can be worth it because you can do some really special things with it. One of the things that Cube added actually, and let's see if I can find it here. Cube, did you add something that would draw a stroke? Do you remember what I'm talking about? Like it would actually draw a stroke and increase the pressure, but that wasn't part of Slimyzilla. That was another thing you did. Yeah, that's right. I think that was another plugin you did. I just can't recall the name of it right now. So yeah, actually, I am really happy. And so the question I'd have for Cube is, would you recommend people, just as a kind of hygienic thing, that they just install Open Tablet Driver on Linux? Or do you think that you should only still do it? Pressure emulation, that's it. Thank you, Cube. I forgot about the name. And the reason I bring that up is I use that for testing lots of things. So getting back to my question, do you think people should install Open Tablet Driver or only do it if they think they need it and instead rely on what comes in the OS? So I'm just curious what your thoughts are. Let's see. Hang on a second. Okay. The circle, you're talking about the circle, what is it? You're talking, the circular area mapping thing? What is it you want to know about the circular area thing? Let's get back here. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure nothing's in it. These things are turned off. This is on. I'll turn that off. Save, apply. For the person who is happy configuring nothing, maybe beyond fixing the aspect ratio, especially people who aren't good with tech, I'd say got it. Okay. Okay. And there's one last thing I want to do on the stream, which I am finally set up for, is finally, Mir, you think you've been waiting for this, I'm going to try to play Osu on this thing, okay? So, because we've done the basic tests, I've taken notes, and I'll update my doc on that, okay? So and the reason I'm saying this is, that's, I think, the primary reason a lot of people are installing Open Tablet Driver. So I'm just gonna pretend like I just can't remember the context because I feel like there was a specific topic about it. Maybe was the question, why would someone use a circular area plugin? Is that the question? You got the tuna skin? Is that something you sent me, Mir? Oh God, sorry. I'm trying to get my head into getting this thing installed, and I just can't remember how to do this. I'm so used to the way Windows works. It takes a second for me to think about. Like any good Windows user, will always search for the UI, right? Okay, Osu is not there. Thank you, Mira. I appreciate that. I definitely don't want to get covered. It happened so quickly. One of my streams, I listened to just some TikTok video for like 30 seconds, and suddenly it was like copyright struck. Copyright struck. Okay, Osu. Welcome, Osu. Okay. Download. Okay, which do I want? I want laser, right? I'm gonna try laser. I don't know if I should though. For Windows, okay, I'm gonna click laser. Let's see. Now this should work for you because my setup is completely like, it's very set up to make this work. Because what you're seeing on the screen is captured from hardware. It's not captured from like a screen capture software. Use laser? Okay. Did I download it? No, it's downloading again. Okay, that was stupid of me. OSU app image. Okay, it's done. Let's hit it. So this is not this. So it's not a deb file. It's some other kind of thing. I'm clicking on the circle. I'm not sure if something's supposed to happen. Open with disk image mounter. What? Albert, I think if you search higher in chat, you can see Cube's response to that question. You may need to submit. Right click on properties and allow to run. Okay. Right click on properties. Allow to run. Permissions. Open with. I don't even know. Allow executing file as program. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that did something. Okay. English. Get started. UI scaling. I'm a little older than you guys, so I need a little extra scaling here, okay? Next. So should I get recommended beat maps? Is that okay? I'm going to do that. Beat maps will be downloaded in the background. You currently have one beat maps loaded. You can continue with setup while this happens. Next, import. I don't have anything to import. I'll just pick new defaults. Okay, now you can't hear anything. You can't hear anything. And just to, let me just verify one more thing here. Yeah. Here, I got an idea. Wait a second. I'm trying to show you my I don't have it quite set up, but you get the idea. I was going to show you my hand at the same time as it's all playing, right? But just to convince you I'm actually doing this. Okay, all recommended maps are from featured artists that are officially... Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, now I'm going to turn off my music for a second. And I'm going to... This may not work, but it should. I'm going to... now this is the part I don't know if it's going to work though, which is I'm not getting audio through the what do you call this? This Linux machine. So I'm just going to click, and I don't think I need to sign in. So let's play. And does my mouse, sorry, my pointer work? Okay, it does. That's my PTH 660. Let's go go here. Oops, not that. Okay. Browse. I guess I'm browsing music. Sign in. I gotta sign in. Okay, that's okay. I can sign in. I could sign in. That's not a problem. Okay, give me a second. I gotta figure out how to sign in. Hang on, hang on. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna, since I did figure out how to sign, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. And just give me a second as I sign in. I think it's. Because I wanted to do that for a long time anyway. Oh, geez, another. Hang on. I gotta get get the password here, or the code verification code. So 1 second. Oh, verification code. Account verification. Of course, it uses some hex number, not a normal. Okay. Whew, I'm actually back. That's my old profile picture, right? I didn't have the anime girl. Okay, but anyway, it's there. I actually have signed in again after like 2 years. Now here's the first question: why aren't you hearing anything? Let me double check a few things. Okay. What I'm gonna do is because I just want to solve the audio problem. Otherwise, it'll be very weird. So let me get to this thing. I'm just gonna go to YouTube just to play something so I have an audio to test. Okay. I don't know. We'll pick something. Oh God, I don't want to pick something people don't want to hear. Oh, we'll decide Lo-Fi Girl. How's that? Lo-Fi Girl. Just so we can get something and then. I can debug the audio here for a second. Where the heck is the audio? Chrome is playing. I'm not hearing anything. How do I send the audio to a specific device? Does anyone know? I guess I'll just search in volume. Nope. Sounds.
Meet Gym Monster 2, your
Okay.
all-in-one smart home gym.
You can hear an ad
Set it
now.
up anywhere, no limits, no
There we go.
installation.
Because it would be bad if you didn't hear it, right? I want you to hear it. Okay, we hear it. Okay, Mir, what do you want me to do? You want me to install a skin. Fever's gone, but the cough is here. Also, I sent. Okay, let me try playing a. Let me just try playing something solo. What the hell was that song I love? I need something super easy to play. And Cube, these should all be okay to play, right? Sort by. What the heck? Yeah, I don't want. I'm sorting by like the lowest of the low. Okay, this seems like a small set of stuff to type. Now, let's see what happens. They're all officially licensed. Perfect, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna try something. Okay, I'm gonna try this only because when downloading songs, make sure to press the featured tag. Where's the featured tag? When I'm downloading. Am I downloading now? My love. Okay, yeah. This is something I discovered on Cube's server. I personally listen to this song. I love it. It should default to featured only. Okay. It seems like it would be really difficult, to be quite honest, but we'll try. I guess I select, double click? No, select. Okay. Here we go. Shit. This is way harder than I remember, by the way. Oh, jeez. How accurate do I have to be on those slidey things? That's me. There we go. That's the entire... I'm gonna try it one more time. Okay. Okay, so actually... Oh shit, there's no way to pause. I really have no idea how anyone plays this game. And what's funny is, I can understand why it's kind of addictive. Because it, at the surface, doesn't seem like hard, but it gets progressively addictive. Because you seems like you should be able to play it better. See? You gotta press down on the sliders. Hey, good night, Mir. Thank you, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna try one more time. Hold down on the sliders. Play the tutorial map. You can pause by pressing. Okay, okay, good, good. I'm gonna hold. So I gotta. You know, maybe that was the big mistake I was making all this time, and I was too embarrassed. Oops, I didn't press. Man, this is a lot of work too. I feel like I'm pressing down with like 400 gram force of pressure. There's like just a lot of tension in my hand. This is the furthest I've gotten. This is the most difficult song I played, by the way. It is so stressful, like my eyes are tearing up. Okay, I'm gonna continue this. I'm literally, my eyes are, because I haven't been able to close them. So, you know, not to brag, but I don't think I'm being too bad for someone who's 54. And the number of people my age playing this game has got to be pretty low. This is the longest I played Osu, sorry, a specific map. I do keep forgetting to hold down the slidey things. I'll just be happy if I get through this game without destroying. This will be the first time. You want to click the circle when the outer circle is moving towards the inner circle. And okay, got it. You can see my timing is just way off. Like, the second I concentrate on hitting one thing, gee, it's like sensorily overload for me. Again, my eyes are tearing up because I'm staring at this and focusing, and my hand is actually incredibly tense. Meaning, like, it's you know how like new drivers to cars have a death grip on the steering wheel? That's what's happening to me right now, pressing down with the pen. As if pressing that harder is like the only way I'll stay safe and alive on this beat map. Did I spin this? Is that right? I did it? Look at that. Look at that. I actually made it. No, I'm not joking. That's the first time I actually completely played an entire map. And I got, I think it is anyway, but I got an actual score of D. And I think that's a good starting point. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Let's see, my accuracy, 59%. I'll take it. Max combo. I got 1 PP. Is that good? I think they were making fun of me for getting 1 PP in Cube server. Great 97, okay 59, meh 72, and miss 41. Not great numbers. Not great numbers. Oh wow, they have all sorts of interesting stats here. Oh, this is interesting. Is that Cube? Like, I think good people get like 1,000 or something, or like, I mean, really good people. I watched that MREC video where he plays through the fire and the flames every now and then. So, you know, that's probably my like prototypical example of somebody who I have seen play. Undershoot, overshoot. What is this telling me? I tend to, well, I'm not very controlled, that's for sure. Oh, this is, I was really wondering about this. I totally know I'm pressing too early a lot. So this makes sense. Yeah, I feel that way. Okay, global ranking. I don't have one. I don't have one. Hit accuracy, 62. Total score. Okay. let's see. The best players can get over 1,000, but for example, my top plays are around 200, 300. Okay. This is challenging. Okay, well, this is good. Okay, a couple of things strike me. Like, I wasn't joking. My eyes were tearing up because I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. Like, I wasn't blinking, is what I'm saying, right? And so that was interesting. Number two was I felt rushed. I know for you all, this is like slow pace, but I felt like this was incredibly, like I couldn't take my eyes off. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't do anything. My hand was, I still feel it a bit. My hand is super tense. Like I was just pressing down. Let's see. The rankings are currently frozen due to score rebalancing. That's why I don't. Got it. Thank you, Cube. Thanks for clarifying. Okay, don't worry, Mir. Okay, Mir, just tell me how to use the skin. Tell me what I do. A lot of players blink 1 A at a time. So left, the A, second. Oh, interesting. The other thing is you can tell. I guess I was playing just by tapping, and I don't know what the stats are. I guess most people do not just play that way. I guess they use the keyboard for tapping or Alt Tap X, which is I think what Cube does. So I'll try that next time. It's interesting how much effort it was. Like it wasn't. How can I say it? It was easy, but yet super incredibly difficultly hard. Easy in that like I know what to do, but executing it all was nuts. Okay, let's find Mir's link here because I know Mir is gonna be upset at me if I don't. Okay, this is the skin. Mir, I think. Sorry, you can't see what I'm seeing, so let me show you. It's I don't have Discord on things, so I have to figure out another way of doing it. The vast majority use keyboard and tapping for tablet or mouse for aiming only. Got it. Or drag it on the game. The problem, I don't have the Discord here. I'm going to install Discord on this. How do I get out of here? Oops. Yeah, I'm trying to get to. Okay, I'm going to close this darn thing for a second. How do you close this? I just keep on hitting escape. Okay, let's install that skin. First, let me install Discord so I can get the link and all that. Or I guess I can just log it in through Chrome. I don't need to install. Let's just do that. It's probably easier. Let's see. That's, I think. Sign into Chrome. Hang on. You don't need to see all this stuff. Just signing in. This is all to get to Discord. Mir, that won't help me because I'm just remember I'm on a separate machine than chat, so it doesn't. I have no easy way of just sending the thing over. If that makes sense. But don't worry, we'll get there shortly. I will try this for you. Try a passkey. Okay, I got that in. Let's get to the Discord. Here, and now you can see. Let me sign in. These things are so complicated. Scan QR code. Log in. Okay. Now I got it. Now I can get to the. You're in the live stream chat, I believe. Yeah. Okay. What do I do? This is the skin, right? It's very okay. What do I download, Mir? I'm not really sure if I understand what's going on. This must be in a different language or something. It's getting translated. Skin. Is this like a zip file or something? Download the download. Okay. Oh, where is the? Sorry, I'm looking with my own old eyes. It's just a zip file in disguise. Okay. Oh, I see. There's a download link here. I didn't even see that button. That was so confusing for me. Okay, so this OSK file. And do I just double click on it? No, that's not doing shit. I guess I should start OSU. Just drag it to OSU. Okay. Let me try to do what Mir's saying. Let me out.
See you next time.
I'm just doing I'm just doing literally what you're saying, Mir. I'm just gonna drag it here. Okay, you probably didn't mean drag it onto the image. So probably you meant drag it somehow like this. Imported. Oh, something got imported. Skin. Okay. I would not have guessed that's how drag works, but because I'm not used to that in Windows. But okay. Now, how do I use it? Because now it's in. Is it under settings? Skin. Okay, this is the current skin. Okay. So now, what do skins actually even do? Like, will it play differently if I play that same game? It works in Windows? Oh wow, I didn't know. Yeah, so what changes with the skin? Like, 'cause I didn't really visually remember the way it looked like before. Did this UI significantly change? Play a map. Okay, let's play a map. Let's just do the same one I did before, since it's a little bit easier for me to deal with it. Oh, I can't see a difference. Yeah. I forgot to press down doing the slidey things. It's cleaner maybe would be. I keep forgetting to hold down doing the slidey things. And every time I think about that I haven't done it, I forget to do it the next time. It's a struggle. Oh, I died. You might want to dim the background. Most players dim to 100% so it's less distracting. Got it. Got it. User interface. Parallax. Background blur. Background dim. I think that's what you're probably talking about. I don't know. I'll just set it to like really low. Let's just try it for just for a second. I'll try it again, and then I'll probably just end the stream. Okay, let's just see. Oh, I think I did the opposite of dimming it. I made it even brighter. You can here, let me end this. Quit. Why did I do that? Oh, the dimming was. I get it. I want more dimming, not less. No wonder that was confusing for me. I just sort of thought dimming was how bright, but it's actually inverted. Okay. I'm just used to that slider, increasing brightness. That's why I went left without reading. Let's just see if it looks similar or looks better. It should be really dim now. Yeah, it's really dim now. I'm doing a better job remembering to press down on the sliders. I'm gonna just try to beat my record, okay? Which shouldn't be hard, right? Another thing I'm noticing, honestly, is I can't just focus on what I'm doing. I have to think a little bit ahead. Does that make sense? Like I have to plan out a little bit more. I wasn't quite expecting the game would be like that. I guess I was thinking more like I'm just reacting to the game. Does that make sense? Like I'm just reacting, but like I'm having to think a bit more, a lot more actually, than I expected. Because if I don't, I feel like I'll get in trouble. So, honestly, even compared to when I started, I don't know, 15 minutes ago, I feel a lot better. Not perfect, obviously. But it's not as stressful right now as it was a second ago, a minute ago. Another thing I'm observing is how much mental attention it takes. Like, I'm able to talk to you, but this song is not very fast. And I think it was just a little bit faster, I would not be able to talk as I'm playing. Okay, let's see. How's the video quality coming out? I will be doing a video on OSU, by the way, for my for the artists. Meaning, for a lot of artists, this entire drawing tablet OSU thing is a total like strange thing. They would never think someone would play a game like this. Another thing I want to do is play Roblox. Only because so many people play Roblox with a drawing tablet, or try to, and it doesn't quite work. I am better. I am better here. There's no doubt. Even though I'm making a ton of mistakes, I'm definitely better. My eyes are tearing up again as I'm not closing them. Okay, did I get any better? Still D. My accuracy went down. Stream looks good? Okay, good. One time I tried recording this and it was so choppy because I was doing like a screen capture, but this is going, the recording you're seeing is primarily going through hardware and just being encoded at the last second. Okay, did I get more than one? I got 1 point still? Come on, that deserved at least 2. My accuracy went down. Okay, I'm not too happy with that. I think this looks better. Okay, a little disappointed, not gonna lie. Don't focus so hard that you don't blink. That surprised me. It was literally tearing up. So it's just preference and depending on the tablet, but 5 to 15% average. Lines use 100%. Interesting. Okay. I think we're good. We got 2 things out of the way today using drawing. Or 3 things actually. We talked about Wacom on Linux, Open Tablet Driver, which I was honestly, Cube, I was really impressed with how much more seamless it is on Linux than it is on Windows, to be honest. Right? I saw an interview with Cookie Z. He barely focuses. He just stares at the middle of the screen and barely falls. I could believe it. My eyes are darting all around the place, and then let's see. Cube says I got higher accuracy than last time and less miss. That's good. It felt that way. I guess I was just thinking that would be more whatever these PP points are. Okay, everyone, thanks for the stream. It was super fun. I learned a lot. I am going to be trying to play Osu some more. Let's see. It doesn't show, but your PP went from 0.66 to 8.1 between display. It just rounds. Oh, I see. So there was actually kind of a significant improvement. Because it's being rounded up, I didn't notice it. Okay, everyone, have a great day. Thanks so much for your help, Cube, and Mir for you staying on the stream. Everyone, I'll be back soon, and have a great day.